Alright guys, we got another reaction video here by Rima Evenstar. The controversial ascent of Mori Calliope? I don't watch that much Mori. I'm more a Chiara type of guy. You know, supporting my fellow Germans. um, yeah, I don't know all about, like, the entire stuff that has happened to Mori, around Mori, and, like, yeah, I just want to find out more, which is what we're gonna do. We're gonna find out more. I guess that's what we're gonna do. Anyways, you should subscribe to the channel and like the video. Every little bit of support is appreciated. I love you guys. Let's get into it.
This thing you have with trash taste, you like them, or you're like friends with Connor, it's not okay, Mori. You're not allowed to collab or like anyone unless we tell you it's okay. Don't you understand?
Huh?
You betrayed your friend.
No! Just be cool, guys. Like, is it that hard to just be cool?
Hey, Beats. It's Mori Calliope. What's up? Just so you know, I have just announced that in December, I'll be releasing a full album. Check it out, Joe!
Okay.
When we think of a VTuber, we picture someone that can sing, dance, and entertain a crowd. We think of a performer. The highest self of a virtual idol is someone who could perform all of these tasks with ease. Basically,
If you want to take anybody as, like, inspiration or what is it? As a role model for, like, VTubing, like, it clearly is Mori. Like, that woman is working insanely hard. From what I can, for what I can tell, it is insane. Like, not in all aspects, because, like, we don't want to overwork ourselves here, but, like, holy, she is putting in the work. You can tell she is putting in the work.
an
Insane.
idol who's also an anime waifu. And for the Western fans, Mori
Pecora.
Calliope embodies all of these elements. She's talent incarnated.
Hello, I'm Mori Calliope from Hololive English Myth, and welcome to the underworld!
And while all of the Hololive
Okay.
idols are full of talents, one could argue that
That explains why the world is so shitty. We are in the underworld.
Mori just checks all of those boxes.
I can only do so much, like play a recorder, scream a little bit, write raps about bread, and be okay at music.
Raps about bread. Okay, that's a weird one. That is a weird one.
And read mangas about dads who are VTubers, and drink a lot of wine, and be bad at video games.
She's a professional entertainer, she's been dubbed a household name, she's a singer, a lyricist, but most importantly, she's a brand. But what if you've got everything you've ever wanted, but still weren't happy? What if the price of success came at a cost? In the case of Mori,
The price of success is always comes at a cost. It is always involved with sacrifice. In any field where you want to be successful, you need to put in immense hours to make it successful. Football players, or soccer players in this case. I don't want to be getting confused with American football. Soccer players have to put in immense hours as teenagers to get into the industry. Content creators have to put in immense hours to make it successful. Sure, there's luck involved, absolutely. But you also need to create that luck for yourself, which is why I'm now utilizing Shorts more and TikTok at this point. Even though I don't like TikTok, I'm still utilizing that.
Mori Calliope, she holds the distinction of being the first Hololive English VTuber who signed a major record deal with Universal Music, achieving over 2
That's
million
wild.
subscribers on YouTube and releasing 2 full albums under her belt. She undeniably set an exceptionally high standard for corporate VTubing, and her success may as well serve as a pioneering example for future VTubers aspiring to blend mainstream media with the VTubing world. However, Mori's journey has
I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be really, really hard to top the first generation of like Hololive EN. It's gonna be really hard to top Gura, Kiara, Mori, and like the what is it, the blonde hair girl, like the inspector girl. What is her name? Watson? Is it? Wait, let me Google that. Amelia Watson. I think it's gonna be real difficult to top the first generation.
Has been marked by numerous challenges,
Especially Kelly,
and moments of sorrow. It pains me to say, but it must also be acknowledged that Mori has garnered a significant amount of detractors over the years, making her one of the most polarizing VTubers out there. And while it is customary for public figures with a substantial following,
is that who I think it is? Ew.
to have
I don't
their
like
share
her.
of critics, Mori seems to have an unusually high number of fervent antis, almost resembling a cult-like following dedicated to making her life difficult at every turn. In this VTuber deep dive, we'll cover everything from the good to the bad so we can understand the root of the controversies and determine if we think they are founded or just nothing burgers. So buckle up, because there is a
The first time I got introduced to Callie was when she released that song about like the line like where she was basically like shooting at like VTweeters and like them complaining better start working and stop tweeting or something along the lines.
a lot to unpack. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe for more VTuber documentaries and commentaries.
Make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content, reaction content, and Dokkan content. Haha!
5% of you still
Shameless
unsubscribe
plug.
to my channel, so seriously, what are you waiting for? And if you want to support the channel and have your name displayed at the end of my video, you can join my memberships for as little as $2.99 a month. As for a little disclaimer regarding
You can join my memberships for as little as 99 cents. Like the first tier. Because, like, I don't know if you can adjust the prices later on, if you can add tiers. I don't know if that's possible, but, like...
Mori's alter ego, although it is
Though I
not
don't have
secret,
much to offer
and
right
Mori
now.
herself has mentioned that she doesn't mind us talking about her past life, I would rather take extra precautions, and I won't explicitly show her alter ego or refer to it by name in this video. Anyway, if you know, you know. And if you think I'm playing it too safe, leave a comment below. Now, back to the video. To understand the public perception of Mori Calliope, we gotta go back, way back to her pre-Hololive era. You see, before Hololive, Mori was an underground rapper. Born in Texas, she moved to Japan to pursue her dreams of becoming a music
NRT. Switch the last two letters.
artist and rapper.
I was saving up big, deadbeats, because I wanted to go to the surface world. I wanted to go to Overworldy in Japan, okay? I had a special box, and I put on front of the box, I put a picture of all of the bands that I wanted to see perform live.
While abroad, she created a few close bonds with peers, friends, and other members of the music community and performed together in underground bars and venues. To Mori's own admittance, back then, she didn't have a very high opinion of the idol culture.
How do you view yourself as like a public figure?
To be honest, I'm still trying to figure it out. Because it happened about a month ago, right?
Right.
I suppose...
I don't like 3 of the dudes sitting around this table. I'm gonna be honest.
All that I can say is, before all of this, when I was just doing underground things in the underworld rap scene, I kind of like stuck up my nose a bit at idols, I suppose. I had this attitude of, there's this whole industry built around like worshipping these people that are supposed to be more than human when they're not. I really kind of stuck up my nose like, oh, I'm so much better than them. I'm no idol. I'm not an idol rapper. I'm an underground rapper. And that
If I ever catch one of you worshipping me, you will get banned. I'm just a normal dude. If I ever get into the position, I'm just a normal dude, please.
kind of thing. One VTuber that kind of changed my mind about idols, her name is Milky Queen. She's like a rice-themed VTuber. She speaks fluent English and Japanese. We kind of became friends, and she really changed my mind about idols because she's so down-to-earth, kind, and an incredible singer and talented. I kind of had these ideas about what idols were really like, but I realized watching her stuff, she works so hard, and she's talented and kind and humble, and other idols can be like that too. Whoa, no way. No wonder so many people like them. And then I realized I was being a jealous little hoe, and now it's
Don't worry, Callie. That was the majority. Still is the majority of the VTubing community. Let's be real. Like all the VTweeters just waiting until somebody fucks up so it can say, "Look, I'm not like that."
So it's no
I'm a good
problem.
person.
I just kind of rode into the whole idol thing, like, with a lot of respect for my fellow idols and all the hard work that they're doing, and my mind completely changed, which is something doesn't happen often.
Just like probably many of us, she criticized some aspects of it. And it's during that era that most of her actions and words would come back to haunt her later on in her VTubing career under the character Mori Calliope. So back then, as a standalone artist, Mori Calliope, while not being under that name, made quite successful music with some videos.
Damn, I didn't know that. Wow. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, she was cooking.
That she
even back
herself,
then.
Racking up to millions of views.
Yeah,
The
she was
talent
absolutely
is
cooking.
Undeniable, and I can only commend the amount of work she poured into her craft. In some videos, she would rap, write the lyrics, animate, and even put the mix together herself. But in late 2019,
That's crazy.
most of the world was blissfully living their lives and enjoying their last few moments in the sun while a global pandemic was brewing. And while Mori and her peers, friends, and mentors from the scene
The pandemic is still one of the biggest scams ever. It just fucked with the economy, and people lost their jobs, and we accelerated that inflation with that.
were still performing in bars and creating music together. Once the pandemic hit, it ruined everybody's plans, and all of those venues in which they were performing and making a buck off closed, which caused this particular group of friends to have to reassess some of their dreams, and some of them had to pack their bags and go home or simply stop making music. Mori, on the other hand, had to find a new way to generate income if she wanted to stay abroad, and that's when one of her friends who was in the VTubing space suggested that she should audition for Hololive.
I had some other Reaper mates who also were looking into the Hololive thing, and we're talking about it, and I just I listened in, and I was like, oh, okay, sounds
The kind of luck you need to have. The kind of luck you need to have is insane, dude. Man, the kind of luck you need to have. I want that luck as well. Give me some of that. Just a little sprinkle would already be enough.
It's interesting. I'm getting sick of swinging my scythe around all the time. What's interesting, though, is that I kind of didn't say anything when I auditioned to those friends. I was just kind of like, oh, I'll just give it a shot, because I didn't think I was going to get in. I thought that they had way better
I
chances.
think the majority of being successful as a content creator in general is networking, which I'm not good at. I can't network for my life, because it's like, I have this mentality of, I need to do this myself or it isn't earned.
Than me. And so I was like, well, okay, I'll just do it for shits and giggles, right? Just for fun. About midway through, before we even heard anything, before things even got moving, I got real guilty. So I told my friends, I said, hey, listen, look, I went ahead and I auditioned for the thing that you guys, just so you know. I'm not trying to be slimy or anything. Before things start popping off, right? Just letting you know what's up. And it was all cool.
And that's when the magic ensued. But while Mori undeniably found success there, many of her former friends saw her as selling out and trading the integrity of her art for success and leaving them behind, which seemed to be something that Mori would struggle to come to terms with for the rest of her career.
Friends that I had made from those times, they kind of stopped doing music. I guess I just wanted some of them to be proud of me.
Aww. I think that's like, I wouldn't say that's, how do I put this? Uncommon. Because when you get successful in any field, you'll lose friends, because they now don't see you as like a part of them anymore. Like, you're not one of us anymore. You're like, weird go away. It is frustrating, sure, but on the flip side, would you really want that kind of friends who will abandon you when you are doing really well? That's the other side.
Mori Calliope debuted on September 12, 2020, along with 4 other VTubers who formed the first generation of Hololive English: Gargura, Ninomai Nanis, Takanashi Kiara, and Watson Emilia. They were collectively known as Myth, and each of them had a mythical team for their character design. Mori Calliope's team was the Grim Reaper, and she claimed to be the first apprentice of Death who decided to become a VTuber to harvest souls. Mori's debut stream was a huge
Can't harvest a soul that you don't have.
success, attracting over 100,000 viewers and gaining over 200,000 subscribers in less than a day. She introduced
Dear God, dude. Holy. Likes? Slaying people, dark spaces, flowers, stuffed dolls, sweets. The color red, mafia movies? Rap, makes sense. Red wine, her sensei. Crowds, coffee? Hospitals? Okay. Anime. Ghost of Tsushima is based.
herself as a rapper who loves hip-hop and metal music, and performed her original song "Excuse My Rudeness, But Could You Please R.I.P." for the first
Okay. Based?
time, which quickly became viral. She also showed off her fluent Japanese skills as she was living in Japan at the time. Her first single and several other songs were later collected into an EP album titled Deadbeats that was released on October 2020, and a few months later, in January 2021, she would reach 1 million subscribers on her channel and release her second album, Your Mori. There are many reasons why Mori was enjoyed by VTuber fans: her outspoken and honest attitude, and my personal favorite, the chemistry and tenderness she showcased with her genmate Kiara during their duo streams.
Man. Insane, dude. I hope that I can even come close to that kind of success. Holy. I could only dream of coming ever close to that kind of success. But man, yeah, she deserves it. She works incredibly hard. Yeah. That's really all I can say. She is amazing.
But what really
She deserves all of this
success was
easily.
music. She was the first Hololive member to release original songs on a regular basis, and she collaborated with many other VTubers and musicians, expanding her reach beyond the VTuber sphere. And as we'll see later in the video, this would end up becoming a double-edged sword. But still, Mori pushed through, and by the end of 2022, her music career had reached new heights when she signed with Universal
3D model,
Music,
that's insane.
Japan, and MEI Records, making her major label debut. She released her first EP under the label titled Shinigami Note, and another notable milestone is when she held her first solo concert on July 21st at Toyosu Pit in Tokyo, which was
That is wild. That is absolutely wild.
streamed online for fans around the world. However, Mori Calliope's fame also came with a price. She was involved in several controversies and dramas that tested her reputation and fanbase. Mori, over the
I think
years,
she also made... Was it the intro or the outro? I think it was the outro for the Suicide Squad anime.
had developed a sizable base of antis, especially on platforms such as Twitter, 4chan, and Reddit, where all the mentally stable people hang out. One of the strongest opinions her antis hold is that Callie is a grifter. Like I mentioned earlier, this dates back to events way before she even started in Hololive, when she mentioned her criticism of the idol industry and VTuber corpos. One of the earliest controversies that Mori Calliope faced was when she collaborated with CDogVA, aka Connor, a British YouTuber who was part of the Trash Taste podcast.
I will destroy the British people.
Connor had previously made some negative
Why? Because they talk funny.
comments about Hololive VTubers on his stream with Iron Mouse, implying that they were not talented or original.
Something like Hololive is a good example of this, because it's almost instant success. You don't have to be a good streamer. You will get success, because you're part of Hololive. You'll get a lot more money than most people will see in their lifetime monthly, right? We agree.
I mean, he isn't wrong. He's not wrong. The question is, can you maintain that success? Which is probably a lot harder to do than in most other, like, spaces. Because, like, remember, as an indie VTuber, you slowly build your community. And, like, the instant success doesn't mean that people are gonna stay. That's really important to notice.
Agree on that? Is that fair to say?
I think we should change the subject.
Okay, point.
Iron Master, like, nah. Let's leave that. Let's leave it as it is. yeah, that was a quick dodge.
Once you get the job, it doesn't matter what you said on the application, right? Because you just have to perform.
It's good to note that he has since then retracted this statement and apologized for these comments.
He personally apologized to me and actually every single member of EN and explained the situation to me. And I said, it's fine. Look, just, you know, like, be careful in the future. Like, kind of watch the way you say things. Can be taken out of context, etc.
Funnily enough, this clip was taken out of
I'm not apologizing for this, what I said right now. It is really, I would say, a lot of VTuber corporations nowadays, they just take people that have been successful before. So I think that checks out. But, like, if you, like, grabbed a nobody, just a random nobody, no idea how this works, nothing, they can still have instant success in those, like, VTuber corporations. Now, that doesn't mean that they're gonna stay successful, because, like I said before, you probably need to work really, really hard to maintain that success, because, like I said, as an indie VTuber, you slowly build your community, and, like, people follow you, like, over time, and, like, they get to know you more. But, like, if you start out as a nobody, technically, you don't have that, so you have to work really hard in the beginning to, like, make this kind of, like, even work.
Context from a whole stream where Connor was talking about lying on job applications. So he basically was saying that people should lie on their resume, and once you get your foot in the door, you're already essentially made. According to some research, it is true that lying on your resume has been a trend over the past few years, especially when applicants are trying to fill employment gaps.
You can't be as bad as.
I'm trying. I have lied before in a resume. Obviously, because I have a gap. I have a gap where I did basically nothing. I just stayed at home and, like, yep, I didn't do any. I just did YouTube, basically.
Connor, they hate his f***ing guts. Everything he says, they're like, oh, well, he doesn't understand shit about VTubers. How dare he speak about VTubers?
And while it is true that debuting with Hololive sets you up for a wild success, the work that has to be done before you audition and during your tenure at Hololive is crucial. And I am sure Connor is intelligent enough to understand the nuances of this statement. But when Mori Calliope defended him on her stream after receiving a super chat about it, some fans accused her of lying or covering up for him.
I enjoyed your JoJo space earlier, although you should shy away from acknowledging people who've only spoken negatively about Hololive talents on stream like Connor. Oh, jeez.
You can 100%. I think that's one of the most toxic aspects of, like, corporate VTubing. This is why I don't like Nietzsche sisters. It is okay to criticize, like, a corporation. A VTuber corporation. It is okay to criticize that.
here we go again. I would not have read this out loud if I had read it beforehand, but he gave me the full context and I watched the full clip. I had a long conversation with Connor about this because we are friends, actually. We speak to each other quite a bit as friends. Don't tell me who I can be friends with and who I can and can't acknowledge on my stream.
This controversy escalated when Mori Calliope gifted 50 subs to Connor's stream.
Oh shit, Mori Calliope gave some subs. No way, Mori, thank you.
Some fans felt betrayed or disappointed by Mori Calliope's actions, and one of them even sent her a super chat of $250 with the message, "Con the money for..."
Holy! Dear God. Boy, that escalated quickly. Goddamn!
Connor. This made it so Mori would not read all of her super chats anymore.
New rule in super chats, guys. I won't be reading all akaspas, depending on my discretion. Some pretty high-level super chats have been utilized to send some pretty nasty things recently. If you do choose to send super chat that perhaps ridicule or otherwise say rather distasteful things about not just people that I consider friends, but other people in general, unrelated to me, I will take that money and I will go to their stream and I will give it to them.
Basically, those quote
Based. That is based as hell. That is base suffer. Literally just I take your money and I give it to your op. That is insane.
quote-unquote fans felt like
that
Mori
is
was
insane.
betraying her genmates by associating herself with somebody that shit-talked her friends. And then the flames of controversy were fueled even further when she responded to a tweet that depicted her in a sexual situation.
Nah. 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 There's no way. There's no way. That is wild. That is really fucking wild. Holy. Jesus
Connor,
Christ.
while her fans were watching. The tweet was meant to be a joke based on an old meme format, but Mori Calliope replied to it sarcastically. She was obviously trolling, but some fans took offense to this reply, as they felt that it was disrespectful or insensitive to her fanbase. They also criticized her for engaging with trolls or haters instead of ignoring them, stating that a professional VTuber should ignore trolls. Her next mistake was responding on the Hololive subreddit in a moment of frustration by saying, "Can I please just have some fun?" Naturally,
18 downvotes.
received a large amount of downvotes because it's Reddit. She then caught some flack for a tweet she made about hitting the lean. For those who don't know, lean or scissor is a recreational drug prepared by mixing prescription cough or cold syrup containing codeine with a soft drink, and it is especially popular among the rap and hip-hop scene. To which she later clarified that she didn't mean to say lean, but she just meant that she was drinking. To those antis, this event contributed to reinforce their perception of Mori not wanting to fully integrate the VTuber lifestyle, to hold on to the rap and hip-hop scene by being rebellious and drinking, or even worse, drinking lean. I'm not kidding, they're actually mad at her for drinking or talking about drinking too much in general. First of all, I'm going to keep calling the part of her fan base that are haters her antis, because it's really important to separate those fans from the rest of her fans.
I mean, you can criticize somebody for drinking, but if you don't like it, just stay away from it. I wouldn't watch somebody who drinks too much or gets drunk on stream. I don't watch that kind of content. I know, Pippa gets drunk on stream occasionally. But I don't watch those streams if I know that she's drinking.
Fan base, who I believe are incredibly supportive of her.
Especially since you can say really stupid shit. Right, Shondo, right? Yeah, because she got banned for talking about self-harm and drinking. Two things that don't go well.
Sue says, "My first ever super chat. You are my favorite Hololive member. Best."
But she's unbanned now. Thankfully. It's funny weird, because oh, you're thinking about hurting yourself? Here, take a ban!
Like, am I really people's favorite?
After all, she's still one of the highest super chatted streamers. She's still streamed to thousands of people and her music is widely enjoyed by many. And she's also one of the most watched female YouTube gaming streamers and still one of the highest super chatted streamers of the year. So why are Mori's aunties judging her so harshly? Well, for one, she is not reserved. She is pretty brash and impulsive, outspoken as well, and kinda does whatever.
Blunt. She is blunt. And I love that. We don't really have that too much in the VTubing community, especially with like smaller VTubers, which is wild. that isn't really common. But I know everyone wants to be a good little person. I know nobody wants to be involved in drama. Nobody wants to, you know, be on the bad side. Quote unquote.
She wants. In a way, she is rebellious and has pushed back against what is classically expected from a VTuber, which is not to collab with, oh my god, real life flesh people or males in general. So her purity.
Males in general. I hate that. That take makes me furious. That take makes me absolutely furious. 'Cause like, the majority of viewers for VTubers are dudes. The absolute majority. What do you mean she should, like... Dude! You have no chance getting with her. She probably has somebody already. You have zero chances of getting with her. Why are you jealous? Like, there is no way. You will never even smell her. Jesus
Christ. And her unwillingness to fully embrace the VTuber idol lifestyle. Again, that's not my opinion. I'm just stating what I'm seeing. 2, they harbor the feeling that she is unsafe for the other members of Hololive.
Yeah, let's do 5.
Okay.
Well, quick one. Just a quick match. No, you had to say it.
What? What does that mean?
Just don't worry about it.
Okay.
You know what you're doing, Iris.
No,
you know what you're doing.
No, I don't. I seriously don't. I know it's slang.
Yeah, it is. When you do something real fast.
First and foremost, she threatens the Gachikoi relationship with their favorite Oshi because she collabs with men. And even worse so, she associates with people who dislike VTubers, so they consider her a traitor. And secondly, she threatens their purity.
You traitor!
Them. She is considered impure because of her drinking habit or drinking skit. For example, some blame her for corrupting Iris because she went to have tea with her. In those Gachi's minds,
tea? Really? Tea? Over tea?
Thinking, what if Mori starts participating in this harlot behavior? They're very protective of their waifus, but also just things or even franchises that Mori would come close to. For example, Kingdom Hearts, when Mori tweeted some lyrics from Simple and Clean. And then when she announced her One Piece collab, it catapulted Mori's aunties into a frenzy, asking the VTuber not to touch their show like she's too icky for their favorite franchise. Funnily enough, the creator of the show, Oda, complimented Mori on the
when the creator of your favorite show and manga cooks you. That's wild. Based.
For them, so clearly they weren't speaking for him. And then there was a small incident in which some fans have interpreted that
damn, if Callie would, like, you know, collab with Dragon Ball, oh my god, the people coping and seething would be wild.
Mori was putting Gura in unsafe situations. Essentially, the story goes that Mori and Gura were staying together.
Gura is a lolly. She was made to be in unsafe territory. What are these takes?
during an IRL meetup, and Mori gave the keys to her Airbnb to her sister, who threw a large party for them that was still going on when they arrived to the place.
Yikes.
The party ended up being much larger than anticipated, and she went on live to talk about what happened as she hid in her closet.
A certain family member happened to be in the area. So they were like, hey, so where are we staying? And I told them, and I was like, well, I'm not off the plane yet. Said family member was like, oh yeah, no, it's cool. We'll just let ourselves in and we'll be really careful. We're just gonna buy some snacks. It's definitely not just my family member and their significant other. In fact, there are people on the curb outside chilling with them alcohols. I roll up and I get out the car and I'm like, what is happening here? And family member says, Callie, it's been forever.
That is very, stereotypical. That is very stereotypical. That is very stereotypical for a house party. Yeah.
The mistake that I made was giving them the code, because I thought, they were just gonna let themselves in and, just chill. And no, there was a rager going on. Like,
they did let themselves in. Definitely. And we've never heard from her sister ever again. That soul is gone.
EDM blasting out the windows. I was like, yo, you're gonna get kicked out.
She mentioned that Gura was okay, but had locked the door to her room so she could get some sleep.
I think she's fine right now. I think that she's in a room close to me, away from where like the speakers do be bumping. So I think she's fine. She was just like, no, it's cool. I'm just gonna sleep. So she's sleeping.
She received an immense amount of backlash, blaming her for bringing ill-repute people near their precious Gura. This event further cemented the opinion that she was, once again, an
God, I can't stand this cunt. She's such a fake poser, bitch. What the fuck? Man. If I catch one of you acting like this around me, you're getting the public execution on the marketplace, the guillotine.
Considerate friend to her genmates. Along with those accusations came other critiques, some of them of her arriving late or being unprepared for collabs, sounding like she doesn't have a lot of energy, etc.
That's so sick. Do you have
Which is like insane. Do you know how hard this woman works? Do you know how hard this woman works?
a little more energy left in you to dance to a rap that I wrote for you in 2 minutes?
And this is a wild guess, but maybe, just maybe, her having 2 full-fledged music careers and 2 full-time jobs might be the reason why she arrived late to collabs. The thing is, Mori's aunties also seem to not know her at all. I've seen comments of her being lazy, not having done anything to earn her success.
There's
She's
no
really a
way.
hard worker. She's often talked about her work schedule, regularly looking something like waking up at 9 a.m. and working till 4 a.m. How she's managed to do it for so long, I have no idea.
I was up until 4 last night recording stuff.
No!
Mori has also been the subject of deep fakes, sexualizing
Man, she has my sleep schedule.
her with horses.
Welcome to the stream, chat.
Horses? Horses. Funny how the horse topic always comes up in Rima's videos. She's still a horse.
I hope you guys are ready for today's marathon. So as a special guest, I've brought in my stallion.
The horse meme became so popular that they would spam it under every single one of her tweets and have
How? Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ. I would have much more thought that something like that would happen with Rima, but I guess Mori was the first.
meme by itself. She finally embraced the meme and even mentioned them during her cowboy outfit reveal stream.
Thank you very much for all of your lovely art as well. Some of it a little lewd. To those of you drawing me with horses, y'all are into some fucked up shit, and I hope you get... I hope...
I mean, Vosh would probably be into that.
If you get the help you need from deep within this sheriff's heart, please get some help.
Unfortunately, she was not able to debut her horse model and instead had to reveal this shitty car for reasons that you can probably guess.
And because of you degenerate fucks, guess what we got? A car. How fucking boring is this?
Honestly, fuck it, I would have just embraced it.
Another huge point of contempt for Mori's aunties is her music. They immensely criticize her for being a white rapper. Some say she is culturally appropriating foreign cultures on top of having mediocre lyrics and mediocre music.
Yeah, white rapper being a problem. We know what black female rappers do. The toxic baby mama culture. If I were a rapper, I wouldn't even want to associate with without a part of rap. I've seen some shit.
Every time Mori releases a new song, Twitter is on fire again. One of the most vocal critics of Callie's music was a YouTube creator by the name of Brad Taste Music, who has released not one, not two, but 3 videos of him reacting and reviewing Callie's music.
It's not very good, but then again, it's like this is disconnected white girl music.
And that's not even counting the videos he did on her alter ego. From what I gathered after watching a few of his videos on 1.5 speed because it was so hard to sit through, is that Brad really hates songs that he deems too polished or cheesy or corporate sounding. You see, Brad is a truly original artist that would never sink as low as to release a popular and polished song under a label that would be considered anything remotely superficial or mainstream. Brad is an artistic individual, an intellectual, and he would never write one silly rhyme.
I don't like the term white girl music. Sounds a bit racist, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
He seems to despise cute and cheesy lyrics, and honestly, I'm just not sure he's into the whole J-pop / J-rock or even K-pop vibes at all. Which would explain his disdain in most of these songs that he's showcased on his channel. After all, taste is subjective, and those kinds of songs are often very overcharged and mix large amount of different musics, aesthetics, and genre.
Me personally, I don't like rap. Any kind of rap. I just don't like it. There is like rap I like. I think like some things are okay. I like German anime rap quite a bit. I like nerdcore quite a bit. Like nerdcore rap. That one is fine as well. But like in general, I don't like rap. It's just not my thing. I'm a metal type of guy. I'm a rock type of guy.
And Mori's music definitely does that a lot, but Brad really isn't into it. When he reviews songs by Blackpink, the lyrics are too silly for him. And yet when he reviews Mori's music, he doesn't like how she takes herself too seriously. Like, ew, why would you ever go 100% in your craft? After all, looking uninterested.
So silly isn't okay. Serious isn't okay either. What the fuck do you want?
Is the only cool way to live your life. And yeah, I should know because that's exactly how Brad portrays himself during his music reviews.
Look, I'm not a die-hard Mori fan, okay? I can't look past everything that sucks about this song to hear my queen speaking to me, okay?
On top of that, it seems Brad doesn't know anything really about the VTuber industry.
Everything about Mori is like she's just comes off as so fake. Like she's just playing up everything as much as possible because she's afraid that people are going to see her as someone who's like white and has nothing to say because
is the problem that you find her music bad, or is it the problem that it's a white woman? That is kinda racist.
They have like this huge imposter syndrome, which it's like, if you do, then maybe, you know, tone it back a bit, but you can't when you're doing something like this. When you're making this anime type shit, she must believe that everything has to be as overblown as possible or else she's gonna lose the spotlight.
It is common knowledge that corpos commission VTubers way in advance before finding a creator for it. And Brad seems to be using this as an excuse for spinning his own narrative and claims that Mori is unoriginal, and further proof of that is that she didn't have a say into designing her own character.
She didn't even design her model. She didn't have creative control over her own character. Yeah, no wonder her music sounds completely inauthentic. Jesus Christ.
Like, bruh. Even Brad Friend...
Brother, she made music even before she was a VTuber. What are you yapping about?
Push back against the extremely subjective things that he says about her.
The Hololive members, their models are like designed by popular Japanese character designers.
Wow. Wait, that's actually terrible. That is the most like corporate whitewashed bullshit ever.
It's kind of just how it's come.
Yeah, he is absolutely a racist. Absolutely. There is no doubt about that he is a racist. Clearly.
In like the VTuber industry altogether.
Okay, well that explains a lot actually. There are very few VTubers that design their own models. Yeah, but it explains a lot why their music sounds like it's the most like factory grown garbage, and why even at a more elevated level like this song, it is completely unlistenable and in my opinion, horrendous.
So, like the majority, in my opinion, of when it comes to rap, I think the majority of rap sounds awful. I think the culture surrounding it is awful. It's just not my thing, but like, why go after people because they make a certain music? Well, of course there is obviously a culture surrounding rap that I do not condone, but like, that's not like, you can make rap that is not like inside like this degenerate culture.
He seems to have the most surface level of some of the music concepts he is reviewing. You would think a critic would have a little bit of knowledge of some of the concepts.
He's like a games journalist. He's like IGN, but for rap.
Or even the subject that he's reviewing before giving it its opinion. But fear not, Brad is a quote-unquote musician, so he knows what he's talking about. He released an album in 2019 with none of the songs breaking over 10 views, and has also released a satirical EP in 2023, and aside from that I haven't seen anything or found any credentials that validate him as a music professional or music critic. I get the feeling that he is in a way jealous of Mori's success and believes that if he were in her place, he would be putting out better content, when clearly he doesn't. Unlike Knox Hill, an actual respected industry professional with over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, he has released multiple albums and has received positive feedbacks from fans and critics for his lyrical skills and storytelling and versatility. You see, Knox Hill also reacted to Callie's music and actually loved it. He actually tried to understand every single lyric and where they came from and really appreciated them. As a fellow artist, he understood the Easter eggs and even the Grim Reaper imagery she put in her videos for her audience.
All the
that's how you actually do it. Well, if somebody is actually, you know, a professional in this, not like the other guy, and he understands what's actually going on. I mean, why would you care about like a small fry?
metaphors that she's choosing, like the rhymes will slay you, murder connoisseurs, cute as all hell, like sending you to hell. She's super cute, and it sounded super cute at first. The beat still sounds super cute, but the lyricism is heavy. She is firing lyrical, murderous ammunition at us right now.
And even though he doesn't participate in her audience culture and barely knew anything about her lore, he still made that connection and appreciated how her audience would respond to it.
Yeah, great.
Because it's the very same thing Brad critiqued her for by saying that on the contrary, she played too much into her character. Knox Hill also compliments her bar and rap skills, something most people would criticize.
I don't quite get the criticism in general. If you're really talented at something and you can like bring that forth into the foreground? Why not completely lean into it? Maybe that's just me.
For
human erasure, can't stop the pacer, make sure. Again, there's some nice internal schemes, and she's coming through with this dotted, faster flow. I was not ready for her to attack this beat and drop in the way that she's doing it, man.
I find Brad to be a good case study and worth mentioning here because he truly reflects how aunties of Mori think and behave. They easily dismiss someone's hard work by being very subjective and knowing very little about them, and they always do it in a way that's very pretentious. The problem with the internet is that untruths quickly can become the truth even when someone takes the time.
When there's controversy and like, especially in the VTubing space, and like people bring undeniable proof, the VTubing community will go out of its way to ignore the truth and just roll with what the majority is saying. Yeah.
To debunk it. An outside observer reading all
And like,
these comments.
some things you will never get rid of. There are things that you will never get. There are things still going around for some VTubers that you will never get rid of. But the VTubers that do actual shit out there, for example, you know, making a charity event, collecting money, and then that money is never seen again. You know who I'm talking about. Starts with F and ends with root.
Comments and tweets about Mori Calliope, I'm afraid, could easily reach the wrong conclusions. And this was the case when she collabed with a producer named Umru. When the song was announced, Mori's Twitter mob came at her again. Random surfaced again. Some V-tweeters claimed that she was a transphobe. Others claimed that she was a racist because of some lyrics from her song Snake Eyes.
Let me guess, this is minor things that you have to do mental gymnastics for to ever make it phobic or ist. Yeah. Probably.
And then some old screenshots of her past life got digged up. And those screenshots were less than flattering. Basically, between that and the Twitter propaganda, the mob managed to convince Umru, who ended up throwing Mori under the bus, and apologized for collabing with her in a tweet. The antis felt bolstered because a public figure sided with them. Umru then proceeded to block her and denounce her further.
That's
I've
wild.
to see if he released another statement either retracting or apologizing for the misinformation, but I haven't found anything, and he still produces music to this day. And lastly, very recently, she said that part of Twitter again after covering the song Internet Yamero. As you guys can see with these very negative tweets, it really doesn't matter what Mori does, girl can't seem to catch a break. Unknowingly to the world, while Mori was facing a relentless barrage of insults, internally, she was also fighting her personal demons. She had
like, I'm just wondering what makes these people even act like this. Like, is it jealousy? What is it? Like, aside from jealousy, what else is there? Like, what is there? Like, there's no like reason to act this way except for like jealousy. But like, I don't know. It just seems very, very weird to me. Like, this behavior. Like, if I behaved like this, and somebody in my family found out, I would get the shit beaten out of me. Is it what is it? Jealousy? Is it not being raised well? Where are your parents? I'm gonna call your parents. Like, what is it? No father figure? Like, what is it that makes people act like this?
Has been remarkably candid about her struggles, a theme that permeates her song lyrics. She grapples with the guilt of achieving success in the industry while some of her friends were left behind, forced to abandon their dreams.
I need to recommend this game to a friend of mine. This makes my heart very happy. Yeah, it's nostalgic. All good.
The road to success, accompanied by its unique challenges, has been far from smooth for Mori, and she has weathered numerous storms, often
Like I said, with success comes sacrifice. That's just how it is. You have to pick which one is... Like, do you sacrifice your dreams for your friends, or do you sacrifice your friends, quote-unquote friends, because I don't consider that friends? What is it?
Wrestling with profound sadness despite her privileged position, a situation many would covet, but also a situation that would make many...
True. The things I would do to get in that position, it would be insane. Like, if I had to, like, I don't know, stream 20 hours a day with just 4 hours sleep to even get a smidge of that success, I would do that. I would absolutely do that.
Sympathetic to her. Surprisingly, despite all the fame and wealth, happiness remained elusive for her, and she's always felt like the villain in her story. Scouring through hours and hours of some of the stuff people are willing to write about her, it's clear to me that some people have made it their whole life persona.
However, I have to compliment their dedication to look up entire internet history of a person. Insane.
To be hostile and advocate hate and harassment towards Mori Calliope for whatever reasons. This particular group of people seem to have a perception of her that is, in my opinion, inaccurate and a stretch. I would like to debunk the very first claim and perhaps basis of her auntie's hatred. Mori doesn't care about her VTuber friends. The perception that
that's a lie. That's a lie. Like, that's an absolute lie. We know that that is a lie.
In Hololive is ludicrous. Mori's a sensible girl, and she's demonstrated it many times live on stream. A place where it's kinda hard to fake your emotions, because it's live. You can clearly see that Mori cares for her genmates. For example, just one example that comes to my mind off the top of my head is when she cried for Kiara's departure. And anybody watching this can see that it was genuine. And when she also got emotional watching Kiara perform on her birthday stream.
In that moment, my brain just flashed to like all the conversations that we've had about the hard things that we've dealt with being in Hololive and like suddenly having so many eyes on us and stuff like that, and like the tough things that we've had to like deal with and come to terms with, and seeing some of the unfair cards dealt to her and others. I just kind of thought about that for a second, and it just got me really emotional, like seeing her in 3D on the screen. It really like hit me right in the heart, you know, because she really tries super hard. I got really happy to see her fly, because she deserves to fly. She's just really amazing and works super hard.
On the contrary of public's opinion, I find that she has defended her genmates over and over again, even sometimes over her own financial gains. For example, she immediately removed music from her opening stream animation when it was created by an artist who went after the Fuamoku twins.
That's wild. Okay. I mean, what else is there to say? Aside that she seems to be a good friend.
And as far as it goes for Callie's music, I feel like whenever people complain about someone else's content, they've probably never put the time and effort to put themselves out there.
They don't. This is why I dislike VTweeters. These motherfuckers sit on Twitter all day waiting for drama to happen so they can farm a few followers. These motherfuckers call themselves VTubers, but they have never put a single piece of content out there. I hate these people. I dislike them, and when I see it, they will be blocked on the spot. I don't care.
And dislike someone's content. After all, taste is subjective. On top of that, it's probably not catered uniquely to you, but I don't see why you gotta go as far as voicing your discontent online.
That's just like with video games. Like, people enter a space in a certain video game. For example, let's take Gears of War. Fairly masculine, really masculine. And then they change things up, bring female characters, and that's not necessarily the problem. You can add female characters into a masculine game. They just have to be written well, which in most cases they unfortunately are not, because you have created a masculine audience that is not really interested in female characters, just the way it is. So you can cater to an audience that you do not have. So that audience does not get mad at you for catering to your actual audience. I think that's the same here. She does content for her community and the people that enjoy her content. So if you don't enjoy her content, why do you waste your time on Twitter complaining about her content if it is not made for you anyways? Are you complaining that it should be, that she should like cater to you? What is it?
Line, or worse yet, harass somebody for it. So if
that is such a wild message. Condom money for Connor. That is such a wild message. That is a wild ass message.
Me and have never wrote a lyric in your life, and you feel the unnerving urge to criticize someone else's.
Not just lyric. They have never produced any piece of content ever. Most of the time.
Music, just don't. The world will live to see
like
another
not
day.
even if like let's look at other VTubers. Probably not even their model is made by themselves.
Without your unwarranted opinion. As for the auntie's opinion, did it matter in the end? No. By letting her hard work and dedication speak for itself, Mori Calliope ended up gaining a lot of respect and recognition from other VTubers and industry artists alike, who praised her for her talent, personality, and professionalism.
Being professional is very good. You want to be professional. I mean, now, you know, now they're like, what the fuck, probably. That was real professional in the beginning. And now I'm like, I'm still growing and still learning. And I'm doing my best to, you know, improve day by day. I know I can be a better me, but also have fun at the same time.
As for her relationship with her fan base, the Deadbeats, she seemingly managed to maintain a strong connection and trust with them, who keep on supporting her through thick and thin. And
just don't alienate them eventually. That's the biggest mistake you could probably make.
Because a lot of creators would have easily lost trust in their fan base if they felt like they could turn on them on a whim, and we've seen that with many public figures.
The funny part is that this happens to YouTubers a lot. Because the moment you stop being a YouTuber is the moment you will lose the majority of your fans. I think I haven't. I don't think I have I mentioned this before. I saw a VTuber who had an OnlyFans, quitting OnlyFans, and she got her ass beat for quitting OnlyFans. Now, should she receive, man? No. Was this obvious that this would happen? Yes. Because, let's be real, with that kind of content, you attract the biggest weirdos on the entire planet. That is just the harsh truth. And, you know, you are not really in the position to complain about that. About backlash, if you have created these kinds of circumstances. You cannot complain about your house burning down because you didn't, even if, like, you cannot complain about your house burning down if you didn't make it, like, fireproof. That's not how this works.
Everywhere. I'm not alone because you guys are here. That's always how it's been. Thank you so kindly. Really, truly.
In the end, I am very glad Mori seems determined to push through the negativity and focus on what makes her happy. She seems adequately equipped to handle the backlash, or maybe she's just too busy to have the time to get into her own head. Also, I say adequately, but keep in mind that the human brain is simply not equipped to deal with rejection and negativity on such a large scale, but for whatever it's worth,
I don't know. My entire life has been negative, so I don't know.
Mori seems to
I
be
don't know.
handling it well, or at least as well as someone can. In an article from the Xerdo, she mentions that she's okay and that she is mostly worried about those close to her who might get affected by the toxicity, as well as her fans. Ultimately, this Grim Reaper had her own inner demons to fight, and those obstacles did not stop her from pursuing her dreams. After all, she is truly a VTuber who has made a lasting impact on the industry and culture, and it's very hard to imagine what the scene would look like today without Mori Calliope. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I've read way too much brain rot comments and threads, and I need a break. But if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell.
Conclusion. We're still in the conclusion.
And if you're interested in delving even deeper into the world of
I think there's a Galgura video as well. I want to watch that as well.
I recently uploaded a comprehensive deep dive on Rusia Uruha that I think...
Yeah, the Rusia situation was interesting. I think like she had like people were basically having a meltdown because she had like a boyfriend or something.
You'll find fascinating. And if you're a dedicated fan and would like to support this channel even further, consider becoming a member. By doing so, you'll gain access to our exclusive member perks and even have a chance to be featured at the end of my next video. And thank you so much for our brand new channel members, Barbara Ricketts and Sir...
I'm gonna call it quits here. Yeah, a lot of things I didn't know. A few things I did know, but a lot of things I didn't know. Yeah, but this was a fun watch. Yeah, it's just, man, I hope that I can, like, I probably will never come remotely close to that kind of success, but man, am I gonna work harder to even come, like, get a smidge of that, because, man, am I jealous now. Not like the type of jealous, like, in the sense of, you know, she doesn't deserve it, but in like the sense of, how can I get that? How can I work on get close to that? We'll just have to figure out, eh? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my reaction. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a nice day, or night, or evening, or whenever you're. Bye, guys.